Good morning. To start our ceremony today, I would ask Dr. Cummins to come up and join us and provide the invocation. And please remain standing through the invocation and afterwards for the playing of the national anthem.
Good morning. May we bow our heads in prayer. Dear Lord, today is a graduation. It is a passage, a completion. Today we pray for all those who have met the challenge and kept the faith to their commitments of their studies. Today we also pray for tomorrow. This graduation opens another door, another time. As you have led in the past, lead now into the future. Give them focus and clarity and a calling from you to understand their purpose and the courage to respond and step toward that purpose. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Thank you, Dr. Cummins. Everyone, please be seated. So today we'd like to welcome you to the inaugural online college graduation virtual event. With us in attendance today, we have 16 in-person graduates that will walk across this stage and receive their diploma and degree. In addition, we have 90 virtual attendees, as well as their families, friends, and supporters that we'll recognize on the screen behind me, and they're live streaming with us today so that we could recognize them, and they are from across the entire U.S. To those graduates that are with us today, those that are attending virtually, and all of the family and friends that have supported the students along the way, I say congratulations and well done. Graduates, you should be exceptionally proud of what you've accomplished this year, but all of us up on the stage and our faculty and presence and the administration would be remiss if we didn't recognize the fact that this has been one of the most challenging years in higher education that I have ever seen with the pandemic. You all have worked hard, you've persevered, you've completed your studies amidst the backdrop of such turmoil across the country, and I think you've proven to us and made us all very proud that hard work and your tenacity of will can overcome anything, and we hope that you carry that with you and those lessons learned throughout the rest of your career. I would like to give a special thanks to the people in your lives that have supported you through these dreams and the challenges, and to our faculty and our staff and our administrators. I say thank you to you as well. We know that you've worked tirelessly every year, but especially this past year, in order to take each one of these students and get them over the finish line and get them to this point of graduation. So thank you. If you all will join me in a round of applause. I'd like to take a moment to recognize some distinguished guests that are joining me today on the platform. First, we have Dr. Michael Rhett, Georgia State Senator, Dr. Jeff Wells, our Director of Online Education, Dr. Susan Isaac, our Chief Academic Officer and Dean of Faculty, Mr. Craig Portwood, Director of Alumni and Community Engagement, Mr. Lee Ogletree, GOLC Faculty Member of the Year, and Ms. Emily Kemp, our GOLC Adjunct Faculty Member of the Year. I'd also like to take a moment and recognize our distinguished guests that are joining us in the audience today. The Chairman of our Board of Trustees, Chairman George Hogan. Now at this time, I would like to call on our Humanities and Education Department Chair, Dr. Marty Cummins. Actually, I think I've done that already. I messed the script up. I apologize. Excuse me. This is why they don't let me speak much. So we're honored today to have Michael Rhett in attendance with us to deliver the commencement address, but before I ask him to the podium, I want to mention 3 highlights about Dr. Rhett for you. His bio is found in your program. First, he is a lifelong learner, and he is an exemplary model for our graduates. He holds an associate's degree from the Community College of the Air Force in Administrative Management, a bachelor's degree in Communications and African American Studies from the State University of New York, a bachelor's degree in Business Education from University of Central Oklahoma, a master's degree in Educational Leadership from the University of Central Oklahoma, a specialist degree in Educational Leadership from Georgia State University, and finally a doctorate in Educational Leadership from the University of Georgia. Senator Rhett was elected to the State Senate in 2014 and was recently named the Democratic Legislator of the Year by the Cobb County, Georgia Democrats, as well as the Georgia Environmental Legislator of the Year for Cobb County. And finally, Senator Rhett retired as a Master Sergeant from the United States Air Force, where he spent a career educating and training the future leaders, earning him the United States Air Force Meritorious Service Medal. Senator Rhett, welcome to Georgia Military College. We are honored to have you speak with us today.
I was trying to remember who he was talking about. It kind of reminded me of my church, Turner Chapel AME. The pastor was nominating somebody for trustee at the church, and he was talking about this gentleman, and I was very impressed with this gentleman. I said, man, this guy's walking a good Christian walk in his life. I wonder who he's talking about. Then he said my name, and I passed out. You never know who's watching you. But I want to thank everybody for inviting me here today. And it's always an honor and a privilege to see young people come together with a plan and actually try and build the structure behind it and make it work. That's always been fascinating to me, watching young people do that. Good afternoon and thank you, members of the faculty, distinguished guests, and of course, graduates. It is an honor to be here with you today. I am Michael Rhett, but you can call me Doc. Everybody calls me Doc at the assembly, unless they get mad, then they call me a child of Christ. My introduction, you know I'm currently serve as the Georgia State Senator and been doing that for 7 years. Now I've gotten a front row seat to the inner workings of what makes Georgia, Georgia, and have seen the political landscape evolve before my eyes. Before then, I had the privilege of serving as a Master Sergeant, United States Air Force, with over 2 decades under my belt. My Air Force career was started kind of interestingly. You know, I watched people, young people on TV say, well, I joined the military for honor, glory, country. Well, mine came about a little differently. I was playing a game of pool in a pool hall with an Air Force recruiter. And if I won, I was supposed to get $50. And if I lost, I had to enlist. And so that's how my career started. I went home, I told my father that. He said, how you make a dumb bet like that? Just for cause of that, we're going to sell your bed. You going in the Air Force. And you know, back then, they didn't have Craig's or Jane lists, but I saw some signs around the community saying bed for sale. So I guess that he was serious. There are some things you just never forget, and that's one of them. And looking out at you all today, I am reminded of our saying, aim high, fight, fly, fight, win. I think you all have found success in that. There are very few feelings similar to the ones you get when wearing that cap and gown. It is a mixture of excitement, pride, and possibly nerves. To reach here today is one of life's greatest accomplishments. Although amidst the pomp and circumstance, I know how uncomfortable it can be in that attire and how it might feel. It seems like no matter how many times you adjust that cap on your head, it never seems to sit just right, and I bet you are anxiously waiting for that moment when you can throw it up in the air, and I promise you that moment is coming shortly. I will not prolong this occasion for you with my speech. Today, the spotlight is on you. You have made it. Through the countless exams and long hours of studying, the days with bad grades where you have felt overwhelmed, stressed, or anxious, and where it felt like you kept getting knocked down during those times where it was difficult, you persisted. Graduating college is no easy feat, but your drive and determination has led you here. You have every reason to be proud, and speaking on behalf of myself and everyone seated here today, let's give them a round of applause of congratulations. Before we move forward, I will caution you that today might feel like a blur. You will see many faces, some you recognize and others you don't. I'll be just one of the many people to speak with you today, and the celebrations that are to follow will probably be something you'll never forget. In the rush of graduating, I want you to soak it all in and really try to remember this moment. Just look around, graduates, and soak it in. As you think about it, your life moving forward, I know the next step can be daunting. While you will diverge in paths, some of you may start your careers, and others will go back to school. I know the majority of you share the apprehension about the future. There are probably dozens of questions running through your mind about where you want to go and what you want to do. In the words of I remember my father, when I graduated, he came to me and said to me, son, you got a choice here. You can get a job and pay rent if you want to stay here, or you can move out. Which one you want to do? I moved out. From here, moving on, you get to embark on new adventures and experience a list of never-ending possibilities. These joys are the one I wish I could relive and fully embrace. You know, it's kind of like a Star Trek adventure. You know, all the morals and values and character that was instilled in you, you have to go out and try and apply it and see how it applies and define you. Kind of like your Christian walk. I remember Sister Mary Thomas, we would always have catechism class every day, and they would talk about Christian principles and values, but she said, one day you're going to have to go out there and try and apply this and see how it works. Now, she was a very good basketball player, and she said, it's just like trying to teach you how to play basketball. I can explain it all to you, but until you get out there and play and try and apply all these different basketball skills, that's when you'll define yourself. And that's going to be the same thing that happens to you. You know, you go to different experiences around different people and see how your values and morals mesh with theirs and which ones you can adjust or et cetera, et cetera. And that eventually will define you. But you have to make sure you add in the right ingredients. Just like I have apple trees on my little plot of land in Cobb County. I have to make sure every year, throughout the year, I'm adding the right ingredients, sunlight, fertilizer, the right type of soil so that I can get the right type of apples that I want. And that's the same thing with you. Eventually, when you put it all together, you will blossom just like the apples. You are here today because you have aimed high with the determination and drive to succeed from experience. I can assure you that you do not need to have it all figured out. Where you are now and where you want to be might still be miles apart, but that is okay, and I hope you find reassurance in that uncertainty. Here's what I want you to know, though. In the Air Force, as with any military branch, and very similar to the state Senate, we take a pledge promising to protect our country and fellow airmen, all the while centering our actions on the three core values that we have in the Air Force, which are integrity, service of others before self, and excellence in all you do. These have been at the foundation of who I am, and I hope that you will walk out here today. When you walk out here today, you will continue to focus on a set of ideals that inspire you to lead a life of gratitude and compassion, to practice serving others, continue learning, and look at the world with a wider lens. Most of my career has been serving community and country. Not only did I serve in the military, but I also served as an educator, K through 12, for 22 years. And currently I work with people trying to get their GED and learn the language. And before that, I worked with recidivism, homeless men and women, battered women, and people recovering from substance abuse. I've always made it a point to remember that in order to take something, you have to give something. And so that's why I've always, for the most part, have dedicated my life to serving community and country. The first principle I want you to hold true is integrity first. By definition, integrity relates to a set of morals. It means abiding by what is ethically right and, more generally, following the rules from a young age. We are taught that there is a difference between right and wrong. The older we become, we start to learn about something called gray space, an area where the lines are blurred and our conceptions of what is societally good and bad become muddled. Kind of like the old cartoon where you see on one shoulder the devil and on the other shoulder the angel. At some point in life, we are all guilty of justifying lapse in judgment and defining actions according to this gray area in order to meet our own self-interest. Now we are by no means perfect individuals. Like the old gospel song, we fall down, but we get up. Just like a saint is just a sinner who fell down, but got up. Believe me, there's going to be a number of times when you stumble, but that doesn't mean you give up. You learn from the experience, pick yourself up, and then keep moving forward, redefining character. Yet, in recognizing that we all make mistakes, we must also be cognizant of our actions. To walk with integrity is to be of good character and to hold yourself accountable to your own actions. Even when no one else may be watching, peer pressure is difficult. It tests every aspect of your self-control, but in using your best judgment, you should come to the realization that rules are established for a reason, to protect yourself and others. I always had a triangular, and I still do for the most part, a triangular check and balance in my life. I always stayed in school because I figured if I wasn't flunking out of school, my life wasn't out of tilt. I was in the United States Air Force, and I figured as long as I'm maintaining the standards and I'm still enlisted and hadn't been asked to left, my life isn't too far out of balance. And then, of course, a prayer or two always help. So and how I came up with that triangular check and balance is because as a young person, I got kind of tired of my parents having to march me behind the woodshed and remind me about what integrity means. You don't think someone's looking, but someone's always looking. The military is perhaps one of the most extreme embodiments of that ideal of integrity, and crossing the line of dishonor means risking the life and limb of those we swore to protect. Politics is very much the same, despite growing disillusionment and sometimes partisan divide. Integrity remains at the foundation of trust with our system, and is the only way we can uphold our promise to represent you as best we can. As a serviceman by a couple of different trades, I want to challenge you then to continuously view yourself in relation to others, because integrity means having the inner strength to manage your own impulses in order to best serve those around you, and should always be equated with conviction and courage. Questions about what is for the best interests of country, state, people, family who live here takes precedence over partiality and the status quo. Hold your ground and stay true to what you believe is right. To be a person of your word is to possess one of the most revered qualities. It instills confidence in others, determines your ability to build relationships, and lead what I believe is the key to having a successful life. Gaining the respect of others. Go about your life as someone that people can trust. Choose honesty over being false. Admit to your mistakes, embrace humility, and follow through on your promises, because the impact of your actions are greater than you realize. It's kind of like when you go out to a lake and you drop a pebble in the water. The circles start out small, but they get larger. And these decisions you make today in life, as you move along, you may think they're just at a moment in time, but just like those circles on the lake, they get larger and larger and loom very large in your life. And sometimes, and many times, they develop roots. And once they develop roots, it's hard to change things around. I remember I had some bushes in front of my house where the bumblebees used to pollinate. And every time I go past those bushes and the exhaust from the lawnmower would hit the bushes, those bumblebees would come and just tattoo me. And so I said, you know what? Why don't I just get rid of those bushes? So I cut them down, but they grew back. I cut them down again, they grew back. Then I got the bright idea, maybe I need to go dig out the roots. That was the hardest part, because the roots were so far down, and it took a lot of work. So always be cautious of that, because change doesn't always come easy. If it did, you ever think about why they have all these commercials on TV? We can help you lose weight, or we can help you learn another language. It's a process. But you can make it easy by making the right choices ahead of time. so you don't have to dig too deep a ditch like I had to dig several ditches to get rid of the roots in my life that I didn't want there. Lesson number one, lesson number two, service before self. Service of others before self. If you are like me, the saying, treat others the way you would like to be treated, has been ingrained into your head since the moment you could talk. From your parents to kindergarten, classroom, it was always ingrained and still is. It is one of the first lessons we get in kindness, humility, and ultimately guides how we demonstrate respect and care for others. Serving lays at the epitome of this ideal of putting others before yourself and is an umbrella term that encompasses even the broadest acts of helping or doing work for someone. It is metaphorically and sometimes quite literally lending a helping hand, and while the impact is often variable and then sometimes immeasurable, it contributes to the world and its development. You know that old Christian song, whatever you do to the least of my brother or sister, that you do unto me. It's very important, and you have to always keep that in mind when you're moving forward. That's the teen concept that they teach in the military. There's no I in teen, because what one person does can affect everyone, and that develops leadership and character when you're thinking not only of yourself, but you're thinking of your other people on your team. Kind of like when I was a point guard, basketball guard, varsity basketball guard and point guard in high school. When I played, I had to always think about how to place everybody in the right position so that they can be successful in helping us win the game. They had different strengths and weaknesses, and I had to think beyond me just trying to shoot the ball, but the team so that we can work together and win. I am encouraging you to view yourself as a microcosm in a community that is much larger than yourself, but also be realistic about the grandiose expectations to save the world. There are about 7.5 billion people in the world right now. 330 million are in the United States, and about 10.6 million are right here in Georgia, y'all. You will not be able to help everyone, but success should be measured by your ability to ease the suffering of just one. The world has shown us, especially recently, that there's a value in collective. We are all varying degrees of privilege and different backgrounds, but combined, our voices can reach the tops of mountains. I want to embolden you to always offer a hand and be empathetic in understanding the struggles of others. Respect them, their beliefs, and their values and worth. Today, I want you to make a commitment to altruism and to find a passion for people in areas that you believe will make the world a better, kinder, and more innovative place. Although I have found several ways to do this through my occupation, my personal ambition has always concerned education, teaching English, mentoring the kids in my community, and giving others the strength to restart their lives, the heart of service. I believe life's helping others realize their true potential, and I have strived to fuel a curriculum that expands vocational and personal growth for children and adults alike. While this specific route may be resonant with everyone, do not advocate for others in ways that you are passionate about and find ways to expand opportunities for success. Care for others, fight for social justice, strive for equality amongst individuals of different walks of life, emphasize criminal justice, reform, and highlight the disproportionate impact of our law. Number 3, excellent in all we do. Excellent in all we do that you do is important. Now, how many were told to just try your best. I felt a fairly innocent saying that also unfortunately reminds you and me that we are not perfect, and we more likely than not will not be good at everything, no matter how many times we want to believe we are. The older you get, the more you come to understand the duality between life's beauty and achievement and reminders of reality ultimately. There will be things that are difficult, and you will experience multiple disappointments in your lifetime. Maybe it's a bad grade or rejection, things that lend themselves to feelings of failure and self-doubt. Do not let that sway you, though. You are here today because you have worked hard, and I have no doubt in my mind that your work ethic is modeled after a determination to succeed. I can tell you from years of experience that life can be challenging and sometimes hard. It is meant to be, but these obstacles, they are all but gentle nudges to remind you to push yourself, be meticulous, and practice leadership. Just as an airplane uses the adversity of the wind to fly, so must you do the same thing. Or just as you plant a seed into the darkness of the soil and then arise a flower, so must you. If you feel planted down by your circumstances, just think of yourself as a seed and then begin to surround yourself with the right people and nutrients and blossom, which is what they do here at the Georgia Military College. They go out and seek people and try and help them in that same mindset. I think the best metaphor I can offer to you right now is the comparison to the things that are physically difficult, the ones that are that tire your muscles, push you mentally, and yet also offer some of the greatest sentiments of self-reward. If you have ever tried to run a 5K, a marathon, or achieve a personal best in something, you will know that goals are not achieved overnight. No matter how many times we wish we did, it takes scheduling, practice, consistency, and listening to your body while training about putting in the work. You will never reach progress in your methods if your methods are unsustainable. 110% all the time is draining. And in the larger scope of life, always keep your relationship, friends, and family within the line of sight. In every aspect of your life, then strive for continuous improvement. Show up, do work, and hold yourself accountable to the amount of effort you are truly putting in. I know you are well in tune to that in the academic world. Learning to be careful is an act of time management and balancing. In the professional world, much will be the same. Learning teamwork and independence, dealing with complex personalities, and being asked to take on new projects and tasks that you were not equipped for before. I cannot imagine a better experience for you than embarking on this next step in the midst of a pandemic. You have proven to be perseverance. Finally, know that your personal improvement is just as important, and strive to be a better person, not only for others, but for yourself as well. Find people that challenge you, that push you to be better individuals, a better individual. To be someone that you are proud of is a remarkable achievement. I learned how to take criticism a long time ago from an old Bible verse in the Old Testament. King David was fleeing from Jerusalem because his son had taken over and was just wreaking havoc. And while David was fleeing, this gentleman ran up alongside him and started cussing him and saying, "This is what you deserve. You get that, now you get him paid back." And David, king of the guard, said, "Should I kill him?" David said, "No. maybe God will hear him and bless me for it, because David knew what he was saying was right. And a lot of times, we have to be able to keep that same mindset when we face any type of adversity or criticism. Or something to always remember. Just like I remember playing college football, and on Monday we go to the film room, and the coach would say, okay, what do you think happened, Rhett? Well, I would blame it on my teammate, I blame it on the referee, I blame it on my horoscope, I blame it on my girlfriend who broke up with me. Then he put on the film, and I found out it was me. At the end of the day, I want you to think about, how would you like to be remembered? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Excellence is twofold. It is self-measured based on your realization of your own goals and achievement, but also those in relation to others. One of my jobs in the Air Force was career advisor. I would help people come in the beginning of their career, during their career, and then when they were getting ready to exit the Air Force. And when they were getting ready to depart the Air Force, I would talk with them about a year ahead of time and then 6 months, and I would ask them 2 questions. Number one, tell me, what is your legacy? And they'd have a long soliloquy, and and then I would say, okay, if I go around here and ask people, what is your legacy, what will they say? You can hear a pin drop. I said, keep that in mind. Did you come through here and just take, or did you come in here to give and work and be a part of a team and build up something so that when you leave, it can multiply and be fruitful for others behind you? I implore you to find excellence in a world outside of your own, and in lifting yourself up, also work to lift up others around you. Much of my life has been spent defining success according to the success of my community. It had become a subset of myself and my own identity, and by much of human nature. We come to associate who we are by how we were raised and where we have come from, where we view progress based on those we have been inspired by. Past teachers who have made an impression, coaches that taught us to be tough, parents who worked tirelessly to give us a better life than the ones they had. You know, I remember my parents, I was trying to make the junior varsity basketball team in high school. I was coming off hip surgery where my hip socket fell out of place and had to pin it back, and they took it out. And it was the first day before practice, and I was so nervous. I went to my parents and I said, I was looking for some encouragement. So they said, okay, we got some words of encouragement for you. And my mother said, what you do, son, is chew some gum and always stand next to the best player on the team. And I did that, and I played varsity basketball for 3 years. And the lesson from that, she told us, is you can always tell where you're going in life, son, by looking at the people you surround yourself with. And I never forgot that. That's why I'm here in good company with you all today. As a politician, my occupation has some way of being synonymous with this. I can tell you, as young people, you are movers and shakers. You ultimately are the future. You have grown up in a world different from myself and from your parents, but we are all accustomed to strife, and as my generation becomes tired of fighting, you will be asked to take over. In a world filled with many things, division, etc., and that stresses argumentation over other things, be a part of a movement to mend bridges and evoke compromise, and a dialogue to be a leader in acting change and working together. This nation, after all, is built on the principles that value freedom, justice, and that recognize valor and courage and honor those who have made these sacrifices. Today is your day. In recognition of your accomplishments and the many incredible things you have ahead of you and have yet to still experience. The world is a big and beautiful place with, of course, a couple of bumps. And there as well, and you are living in a chapter of history that you're going to write. How you will write it and the next time may still be a work in progress. But remember that whatever path you choose to continue, always be of integrity, be honest and truthful with yourself and others. In all that you do, show excellence and be good intention. Serve the world around you as you are celebrating today. Always strive for excellence. Congratulations, class of 2021, and thank you very much.
Apologies, there are a lot of pages in this script, apparently. So we'd like to thank Dr. Rhett for coming out today, speaking with us, for those inspiring words. Sir, as a token of our appreciation, we have a gift for you that we would like to present. It's a framed picture of our old Capitol building right here on Capitol Square. Okay, at this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Jeff Wells, our Director of Online Education and Professor of History.
Before we get started in recognizing some distinguished graduates and distinguished faculty members, I'd like to introduce you to my counterpart who helped make this event today successful, worked very hard probably for the last 7 months in making it come together. Ms. Brooke Bruton, our Dean of Students and Assistant Director and Director of Global Operations for the Global Online College. Brooke, would you stand? I would also like to recognize quickly our faculty members because a lot of you probably took some of their classes. I hope you passed all of them, right? Or you wouldn't be here, right? Okay, good. So just checking. So starting, we'll wait because there are two on stage that have a special place in the program. Very quickly, our senior faculty member, Mrs. Kelly Weems, Chair, Department of Mathematics. Kelly, if you'll stand. Dr. Christy Musgrove, Chair, GOLC Department of Justice Studies. Professor Randy Elvidge, Chair, Department of Biology, and Division Chair, Department of Natural Sciences. Professor Kara Maddox, Chair, Department of English, LSS. Professor John Swan, Chair, Department of History and Geography. Professor Chris Simonovas, Chair, Department of Business and BAS and CIS. Dr. Marty Cummins, Chair, Department of Humanities and Education. Dr. Beth Ann Miles, Chair, Department of First Year Experience. Dr. Christopher Copeland, Chair, Department of Natural Sciences. Professor Rebecca Showalter, Chair, Department of Social and Behavioral Sciences. And the newest addition to our faculty, Dr. Melissa Kirby, who will take over the BAS department starting today. Thank you, faculty. Also, let's turn our attention quickly to two faculty members who are on the stage. They'll be coming up to the podium to receive a small token of our appreciation before we recognize our distinguishing graduates. We want to honor these two faculty members as they were nominated as the Global Online College Faculty of the Year and Adjunct of the Year. First, we have Mr. Lee Ogletree, who serves as the chair of the Department of English. He has taught literature and other English courses with Georgia Military College basically since 2006. He's also served as an advisor for our Valdosta campus, where I believe he supervised the advising center. He left us foolishly and went to Wiregrass Technical College down in Valdosta, realized his error and mistake, called me, begged for a job, and I gave it to him in 2014 when he returned to Georgia Military College. Mrs. Emily Kemp, on the other hand, had the wise foresight to always stay with Georgia Military College. She started out at the Warner Robins campus basically as a student. I want you to understand something. Graduates, she's one of you. She started out and walked across the stage at the Warner Robins campus, went, got all of her degrees, came back and taught at the Warner Robins campus as an adjunct, and then she called Kara and Lee and asked them, could she teach for us, and we said absolutely. So Lee, if you'll come first, we'll give you your certificate and a check. I also want to comment, this will embarrass him a little bit. You know, the pandemic's taken a toll on a lot of people, and I haven't seen Lee in almost 2 years. He has lost 70 pounds on his health journey in the last couple of years, so congratulations on that, buddy. When he walked in, I thought that, you know, he's one of our students. All right, our next faculty member we're going to honor is Miss Emily Kemp, who was nominated as the Global Online College Adjunct Faculty Member of the Year, and we're very proud that she's also an alum of Georgia Military College. Come on up. Every year, Georgia Military College selects a distinguished graduating student from each of the units, and the Global Online College, of course, is no exception. The recipient is a graduate who is the best representative of the college, who also embodies all the qualities a graduate of Georgia Military College should possess. The GOLC distinguished graduating student will have her or his name placed on a plaque that is kept in Wilder Hall, which is where our Global Online College is housed, and reads as follows. In recognition of intellectual and character excellence, the Distinguished Graduating Student Award is awarded annually to a graduating student of Georgia Military College's Global Online College who exemplifies the highest level of intellect and character, not only through superb academic achievement, but also by distinguishing herself or himself through participation in intellectual and service learning opportunities in her or his community. The 2021, we have 2 this year because we also have our Bachelors of Applied Sciences. And we have virtually and physically, we have graduates here today who are going to graduate with their bachelor's degree. Our associate's degree, Global Online College Distinguished Graduating Student Award this year goes to Miss Aisha Reeves. Aisha, come on up. As she makes her way to the stage, I'll talk a little bit about her, and then we can pose for some photos. I apologize in advance, Aisha, that I'll be in the photo. Aisha is our recipient for this year. She first started it with GMC in 2014 with the Milledgeville campus, and she graduated with her Associates of Science in Criminal Justice. Upon her return in 2020, she decided to enroll in the pre-nursing program fully online due to her work schedule and being a full-time mom. Congratulations on that, too. Though she explained that she faced challenges along the way, her professors and graduation coach always provided support. Ms. Taylor, Ansley Taylor, her graduation coach, describes Isha as being strongly determined by stating she submits required documents promptly, maintains a positive attitude, and is overall an excellent reflection of GMC standards. A graduate of Washington County High School, not too far from here, she is receiving her Associates of Science in Pre-Nursing today. Wow. So her future plans are to continue her education in pursuit of becoming a nurse practitioner. So congratulations. All right, we have one more. In addition to the Distinguished Graduating Student, we're also honoring our Distinguished Graduating BAS Student of the Year. The same process and accolades apply to this award as the Distinguished Graduating Student that you just saw, Aisha. This year, our distinguished graduating BAS student is Mrs. Tiffany Smithwick. Now, Tiffany is a virtual graduate, so she's listening out there via live stream, and we have her award and medallions and everything here, and we'll actually be sending that to her via mail after the ceremony. So let's, at least at this time, what we want to do is we want to honor her with her photo on the screen behind you and tell you a little bit about her. She is at the bachelor's level, of course, and she graduated in 2019 with her Associates of Science degree in Criminal Justice and continued to pursue her Bachelor's of Applied Science degree in Supervision and Management. She enrolled in the Supervision and Management program in order to gain more knowledge in business as it relates to law enforcement. Ms. Taylor, her graduation coach, describes her as a task-oriented, highly motivated, and productive student. Ms. Taylor stated she is very cooperative and always a pleasure to work with. Tiffany has also served on the Student Honor Council for the 2021 academic year, where she demonstrated excellent leadership with her peers. A graduate of John Hancock Academy over in Sparta, she is receiving her Bachelor of Applied Sciences in Supervision and Management degree today. Her future plans are to run a police department. So congratulations, Tiffany. I know you're listening. Let's all give her a big round of applause. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce Dr. Susan Isaac, who serves Georgia Military College as its Senior Vice President, Chief Academic Officer, and Dean of Faculty. Her job today will be to confer your degrees. Dr. Isaac?
Move it down. Good morning, students. Now it is time for me to confer your degrees, so please stand. Okay. By the authority vested in me by the Georgia Military College Board of Trustees and with the approval of the faculty, I hereby confer on you the earned degree with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities thereunto appertaining. Graduates, please move your tassel from the right to the left to signify that you have graduated. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the GMC Global Online College graduates for the class of 2021. Thank you.
You may be seated while we go through this next part, and then we'll call you up one by one. So before we introduce you to our GOLC graduates, there's one more group that I'd like to also introduce you to, and we won't be able to go through all of the names one by one, but I want them to stand. I would like to introduce you to the hardworking staff of the Global Online College, our graduation coaches, our enrollment coaches, our success coaches, our registrar team, and our marketing and enrollment team. Would you please stand and be recognized for your hard work in helping this come about? They're in the very back. Thank you. All right. So now it's time to introduce you personally to our 2021 GOLC graduates. As the graduates make their way to the platform, I would like to acknowledge our honor graduates. As you may note in your program, and as you will hear when their names are called, some of our graduates are honored for their scholastic achievement and will be recognized as follows. Cum laude, the GPA of 3.5 to 3.64. Magna cum laude, a GPA of 3.65 to 3.79. Summa cum laude, a GPA of 3.8 to 4.0. Now, when I was graduating from the University of Georgia, our speaker was Mr. Andrew Young, who was a United Nations ambassador and former mayor and congressman from the Atlanta area. He said, "All that's very impressive," but he said, "I graduated, just thank the Lord." We're proud of every one of you. Notice that these graduates who are honored cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude will be wearing a gold cord on their graduation robes to signify they are honor graduates. In addition, one graduate, Mr. Michael Blizzard, will be with us today receiving his BAS in Supply Chain Management and Logistics. He will be distinguished by the appearance of the tan stole he is wearing on his graduation robe. Now, we're not going to ask you to stand up and model that thing, but, you know. So at this time, graduates, Mrs. Kara Maddox, our LSS English Department Chair, will announce your names as you make your way to the stage. You will give your card to Dr. Cummins, and he will make sure that Professor Maddox announces your name in the order in which you approach the stage. You will then walk across the stage where you will be presented your degrees and a pin from the GMC Alumni Association. Wear your pin with pride. You are now an alumni member of the Georgia Military College family. As you move across stage, Dr. Rhett, Mr. Jody Yearwood, our Senior Vice President of the Global Online College, Enrollment Management and Information Technology, Dr. Susan Isaac, our Senior VP, Chief Academic Officer, Dean of Faculty, Mr. Craig Portwood, our GMC Director of Alumni and Community Engagement, as well as Mr. Ogletree and Mrs. Kemp, will greet you. Also this year, we have our virtual graduates who are listening in via live stream. While they cannot be with us for this ceremony, their names will be called like everyone else's name after those graduates who are with us today have made their way back to their seats. Their name will also appear on the projector screen behind me, as well as their degree program. Please help us honor all our global online college graduates. Okay, our graduates, Ms. Bruton is going to help direct you to the stage.
Marvin Strozer, Michael Williams, Jesse Dillard, Kaylee Barber, Ariel Ewers, Rebecca Hall, Kylia Carter, Emily Goldsberry, Ijawan Horn, Aisha Reeves, Nakimia Wambo, Ashley Constanza, Michael Blizzard. And now, good morning, Global Online College students, virtual campus. We have our graduates who are joining us virtually today. First one is Sequoia Brown from Grovetown, Georgia. Donna Moore, Milledgeville. Megan Glover, Milledgeville. Shane Bernard, Savannah. Alexandria Foreman, Houston, Texas. Cherie Hummel, Milledgeville. Gregory Scott, Slidell, Louisiana. William Cleveland, Marietta. Casey Graves, Milledgeville, cum laude. Sydney Zika, Milledgeville. Bobby Simmons, magna cum laude, Milledgeville. Candler Murphy, Watkinsonville. Stephanie West, Reliance, Tennessee. Alex Horgan, Fayetteville. Jenna Page Smith, McInter, cum laude. Ansley Rose Williams, Gray. Alexa Romero, Madison. Robert Smith, Sierra Vista, Arizona. Ashley Donnelly, Milledgeville. Lenice Hector, Logansville. Chelsea Holloman, Morgantown, North Carolina. Quaterius Brundage, Eatonton. Ansley Herman, Gainesville. Amy Moreno, Milledgeville. Aaron Tyler Allison, Smyron, Tennessee. Braidlin Atkinson, magna cum laude, Covington. Jessica Case, Valley Glen, California, cum laude. Amanda Elder, Milledgeville. Marcus Fernandez, North Las Vegas, Nevada. Spencer Frazier, APO AE. Alexander Hernandez, Bear. Elia Rivers, Brooklyn, New York. Chastity Thomas, Hepzibah, Georgia. Jade Turpin, Tallulah Falls, summa cum laude. Cody Granson, Woodstock, Georgia, magna cum laude. Murray Griffin, Satellite Beach, Florida. Johnny Loomis, Collins, Georgia, summa cum laude. Jacob Rice, Denver, Colorado, summa cum laude. Haley Burnett, Gray. Aaron Joy Leonard, Macon. Sarah Upton, Richmond Hill, summa cum laude. Olivia Andrews, Mansfield, Georgia. Michelle Cope, Dexton, Texas. Emily Ann Dansby, Milledgeville, cum laude. Shelby Fortnott, Gray. Allison Gomez, Monterey, California. Zachary Jennings, Marietta. Christopher Johnson, Milledgeville. Allie Lewis, Sugar Hill, Georgia. Jessica Little, Milledgeville. Brandy Penton, APO AE. Camille Terry, Americus, Georgia, cum laude. Kendall Thomas, Lacey, Washington. Emily Turner, Loganville, Georgia. Carly Hogan, Enterprise, Alabama. Jonathan Sandwick, Mesa, Arizona. John Mason, Social Circle, Georgia. Emmanuel Mejutsu, Maine. Edroki Edoson, Powder Springs, Georgia. Elsa Akanan, Grovetown, summa cum laude. Charlena Brandy, Pearl, Mississippi. Bradley Bonecutter, Augusta, summa cum laude. Rakivia Cummings, Milledgeville. Kiana Davis, Jessup, Maryland. Equisha Dixon, APOAE, Magna cum laude. Jessica Easterly, Spring Lake, North Carolina. Elijah Glenn, Rockville, Maryland. Raymond Malik Green, Dublin, Georgia. Anastasia Heim, Gattenberg, Maryland, summa cum laude. Michael Wayne Heim, Gaithersburg, Maryland. Travis Holt, FPOAE. Bridget Jackson, Lithonia, Georgia, summa cum laude. Darren Jackson, Gray. Jalen Machachi, Rennes, Georgia. Genevieve Murar, Korar, Republic of Palau. Courtney Morton, New Braunfels, Texas. Aaron Raglan, Gray, Georgia. Victoria Sanchez, Milledgeville, summa cum laude. Swatana Shields, Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Kojovu Sapanku, APOAE, cum laude. Sheraton Lord, Tokau, Georgia, magna cum laude. Julia Anderson, North Las Vegas, Nevada. Lori Ann Bromgardner, Woodstock, Georgia. Rena Elizabeth Damon, Martinez, Georgia, cum laude. Caitlin Gardner, Milledgeville. William Cody Sorrow, Jeckensburg, Georgia, magna cum laude. Tiffany Smithwick, Jasper, Georgia. Congratulations.
And thank you to all of our physical and virtual graduates that were honored here today. At this time, I would like to ask Mr. Craig Portwood, who is our GMC Director of Alumni and Community Engagement, to come forward, who will also induct you into the GMC Alumni Association. Mr. Portwood.
Well, good morning, graduates. That just sounds good, doesn't it, right? That's that transition piece. Listen, on behalf of the Georgia Military College Alumni Association and our association president, Mr. Edwin Amerman, we just want to offer our congratulations to each of you that are here physically and those that are also watching online. This is a huge milestone in your lives. But graduation every year is a time of celebration. And certainly we celebrate hard work. We showcase your ability to persevere, a very dedicated focus on your goals. And let's just be honest, that has never been more evident than during these last 2 years that you've been working on these degrees. And each of you have revealed the depth of your character, and you've certainly shown your willingness to adapt and your ability to overcome obstacles. You have faced challenges unlike any other GMC student before you. And it is your commitment to excellence that will continue to be part of the legacy of your alma mater. When you walked into this ceremony today, you came in as students, and now you leave as alumni of Georgia Military College. And you share a very special bond with over 26,000 other alumni scattered around the world. But don't let that number fool you. You are a very key individual part of a much greater community. And the transition that you now make from student to graduate makes you a partner in the future of your alma mater. And I encourage you to become active in that same future of Georgia Military College. Never forget that the future of GMC rests with each of you. So graduates, if you would please stand. Graduating class of 2021, you are now officially inducted into the Georgia Military College Alumni Association with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereunto. And you received, as you walked across the stage and in the mail for those from a distance, your GMC alumni pin. And I encourage you to wear that whenever you can and wear it with pride. So ladies and gentlemen, if you would please give a round of applause to our newest alumni of Georgia Military College. Class of 2021, as you move forward in your academic and life pursuits, I hope you'll always remember the time that you've spent here at GMC and the tie that now binds you forever to Georgia Military College. We are incredibly proud of all of you, not just for what you've done, but for who you're becoming. So continue to march forward with pride, my friends. And I would now ask if the rest of you that are here, if you would please stand with us and join us as we have our alma mater.
May we bow our heads for our benediction. May the Lord bless you, may the Lord keep you, and may he cause his spirit to shine on you and be gracious to you. May he lift up his smile on you and give you peace. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes this year's graduation ceremony. Please remain standing for our recessional. Graduates, please remain standing, and after the faculty is marched out of the Goldstein, please follow them. May everyone have a great day. Congratulations from all of us, and well done. Thank you.